My strength coach, Austin Yoakum, called me and all runners soft. Today I'm going to go through his video and share my thoughts on some of the comments that he made, most of which I honestly agree with. I wanted to go through it and share my thoughts and add my perspective.
Nothing we do in the gym, none of your physical activities are making you mentally tougher. My goodness, I just got on Instagram, was sent a post about how ice tubbing is going to make you mentally tougher, lifting is going to make me mentally tougher. It's like, no lifting, no running, no ice tub challenge, no amount of time in the sauna is going to make you a mentally tougher person.
Mental toughness is a personality trait that determines your ability to perform consistently under stress and pressure. It is closely related to the qualities such as character, resilience, grit, and perseverance. I was on a podcast 2 days ago talking about how running can become an addiction, and how not just running, but weightlifting, productivity, physical fitness, all these things become an addiction. And the reason that he asked me this question is because in the same way that Austin's talking about how you're not mentally tough because you do hard things, like doing hard things doesn't make you mentally tough, or pursuing, for me, running doesn't make me mentally tough when I go after this goal. There is really a selfish endeavor of like, I want to pursue running as a career, as a passion, and I know that pursuing this challenge not only builds the character around who I am and who I'm becoming, but it also allows me to leverage that into potential sponsors, leverage that into growing my social platforms on YouTube and other social media platforms. But there is an aspect of like being in that moment and having to confront myself with the person that I say I am, with the person that I actually am. I do think that there's a level of mental toughness that can be created in that, where if I say I'm going to do something, that commitment aspect, then I either can do it or not do it. And a mentally tough person will do that, and a mentally weak person will not do that. I'll give you an example of where I think Austin's talking about how you can lie to yourself, or you can fool yourself or trick yourself into believing that you're doing these like hard things to be mentally tough when you're not.
Them pretending they are doing something that is making them mentally tougher is what is holding them back from actually doing something that could make them mentally tougher. Because they sit in the, oh, I can skip this because I lifted. Oh, I can be a dickhead because I lifted a lot of weight. I can be selfish because.
And I'll use a personal example. I didn't lift this morning. I didn't lift yesterday morning. And part of the reason that I didn't was because I ran 38 miles yesterday. I got done at midnight, or I got done at 11:30, was in bed at midnight. Now the thought of waking up at 5:30 in the morning and going to lifting just sounded like a waste of time, opposed to like getting a full 8 hours of sleep and feeling refreshed today and ready to go. Now, that's my excuse of saying I'm doing this super hard challenge because I am forging mental toughness and like going after big goals. Like, I don't need to worry about going to lift today. I can take that day off. But in reality, if I actually look at my day yesterday, were there 2 hours of time in my day that I could have gained back by not fucking around and wasting time procrastinating? The answer is unequivocally yes. And so, yes, that's where my mental toughness of being a runner and doing this extremely hard challenge meets the person that I actually am, is a procrastinator and someone who will push off their responsibilities until they absolutely have to go to it, where that starts to impact me actually being who I say I am. Everyone's going to pat me on the back for doing the run. Everybody's going to pat me on the back for running 38 miles yesterday. Nobody even knows that I didn't show up to lift, except for the guys that I lift with and my strength coach. Austin Yoakum. They know. And even within that, people, even if they did know, and I'm not hiding it, but they would say, it's okay. You don't have to go lift, or you're doing this running challenge. Take a break, take it off. And then in the back of my mind, it's like, okay, we just have different standards. So I'll push those people aside because we just have different standards. But internally, I know that there was no reason why no good reason why I shouldn't have been there yesterday and today for lifting. It all comes down to time management and procrastination and pushing off my responsibilities, all the things that I am mentally weak in that I can push to the side because, well, I'm doing this super tough mental challenge and this super tough physical challenge.
Almost any physical activity that you do is going to be a selfish endeavor.
This is a great example. People don't run across America to raise money for a foundation. I've done 3 charity runs. The most recent run was a 500-mile run in 9 days from Springfield, Illinois to St. Paul, Minnesota to raise money for pancreatic cancer. At the core of it, the selfish core of it, I did it because I wanted to challenge myself and put myself in a position of uncomfortability and see if I could run 500 miles in 9 days. And because of that, I knew that I would get attention, and I could direct that attention towards this cause and this family and this foundation that I care deeply about. And it worked, and it was a successful campaign, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to say that I did it only because, or at the core of it, the reason I did it is because I wanted to raise money for this foundation is a lie. It's because I wanted to pursue something and push myself and do a challenge that I wanted to do. Most people won't admit that. It might be hard for people to hear that, but that's the truth. It's okay to go after big goals for selfish reasons, as long as you're aware of that and that's going on. Ultimately, what my takeaway from Austin's video is that we're less aware than we think of all the external motivators that we're utilizing to pursue big goals. My life has gotten better because of running. I have become a better person with the relationships and the responsibilities that I've had because of running. I know that. So running is a good thing for me. However, it hasn't fixed everything. And so to lean on, oh, I'm good here. Look at how amazing of an accomplishment that I've done in running, that doesn't negate the things I still need to work on in my life. In order to pursue a life where you're living responsibly, you need to do the things you don't want to do and confront the person that you say you are with the person that you actually are.